Now what? You know what I'm saying? So that's the position. That's the reason why when I was talking to Cube, I said, yo, I'm gonna hold my ground. I'm not backing down.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the top 20 dumb things said by celebrities.
I tried to eat, but I couldn't get it in my freaking mouth because I'm disabled. So I was like...
For this list, we're taking a look at ridiculous comments provided by some of the biggest stars in the world. Which of these quotes can you still not believe are real? Let us know in the comments below. Number 20. So where's the Cannes Film Festival being held this year? Christina Aguilera. You know that old adage that there are no stupid questions? Well, Christina Aguilera made a very strong case against that statement when she asked about the latest location of the Cannes Film Festival. To answer the question, the Cannes Film Festival is famously held each year in the luxurious city of Cannes on the French Riviera. So, yeah, the answer to the question was right there in the name. It's kind of like asking where the New York City Marathon is being held. We're all entitled to a brain fart every now and then. Number 19. I'd rather smoke crack than eat cheese from a can. Gwyneth Paltrow.
Oh, spray on cheese. This is great.
This Oscar-winning actress and self-professed foodie has a history of making tone-deaf statements and has been accused of being out of touch on more than one occasion. But her comparison of canned cheese to a dangerous drug like crack is more than just tone-deaf. It doesn't even consider the fact that access to healthy food is a real issue in the world. Well, after making her crack equals cheese statement once to Jonathan Ross, Paltrow stood by her comment on Goop, writing, quote, "You know, crack might be extreme, but spray cheese is not my kind of party."
Everyone I know thinks it's weird.
I'm not going to judge you on your cheeselessness.
Number 18. Who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump? Kelly Osbourne. Donald Trump has received a lot of backlash for his extremist remarks on Mexican immigrants. On The View, Kelly Osbourne offered her own angry response to the Republican candidate, but it was sadly misguided.
If you kick every Latino out of this country, then who is going to be cleaning your toilet, Donald Trump?
Oh, that's no.
In the sense that, you know what I mean?
Her question on who would clean toilets without Latinos in the country was really just another example of a harmful stereotype.
Latinos are not only the only people
I didn't mean
doing
it like that. Come on.
On Facebook, she took, quote, responsibility for her poor choice of words, but insisted she was not racist. Number 17. Why is everyone in such a panic about Hurricane, I'm calling it Sally? Stop projecting negativity. Think positive and pray for peace. Lindsay Lohan.
Tens of thousands of people were ordered to evacuate coastal areas on Sunday from Maryland through Connecticut.
As Hurricane Sandy killed hundreds of people, destroyed thousands of homes, and cost billions of dollars in damages, Lindsay Lohan took to Twitter to ask what all the fuss was about. A quick Google search was too much trouble as she settled on the name Sally instead. She seemed upset that the death and destruction was killing her vibe, but for the people affected, the real problem was the threat to their lives and homes. To call this a failure to read the room is an understatement. It came from a place of privilege that seemed to embrace willful ignorance.
It's like a bad dream, sweetie. And someday very soon, you're going to wake up and realize the truth.
Number 16. I guess I'm gonna fade into Bolivian. Mike Tyson.
Where do you go from here, Mike?
I don't know, man. I might just fade into Bolivian, you know what I mean?
Heavyweight champion Mike Tyson came so close to getting this expression right, but it all went south there at the end. After taking a mad beating from the fists of Lennox Lewis, Tyson feared that his career was over and that he was destined to fade into Bolivian. To be fair, Tyson was probably and understandably out of it. On the other hand, he's never exactly been a master of public speaking.
We all do dumb when we high, right? Okay.
While the years that followed were tough on the boxer, at least he hasn't totally faded into oblivion. Or Bolivian, for that matter.
I don't have nowhere to go and nothing to do, you know what I mean? I just go fly my pigeons on the roof in New York.
Number 15. I've been noticing gravity since I was very young. Cameron Diaz. Let's face it, if someone had a list of everything any of us had ever said, there would be some questionable quotes there.
How do I know what you heard?
And to be fair, Cameron Diaz was not discussing physics when she made this remark to Cosmopolitan in 2011. Rather, she was discussing her body and the effects of age. However, it is still a bit of a gem. It's impossible not to take at face value. and immediately begs the question, how could anyone not notice gravity? Even if we restrict ourselves to the effects of age, what are the specific gravitational effects that someone notices when they're very young? Number 14. Whatever they have in Korea, that's bad. Justin Bieber.
Face it, Biebs. You become a cocky little shit. You are the King Joffrey of pop.
Back in 2011, the Biebs admitted in an interview with Rolling Stone that he wasn't sure which party he would vote for, even if he were old enough, stating, quote, "I'm not sure about the parties." There was one thing the teen idol did know for sure, though. Whatever they have in Korea, that's bad. It seems safe to assume that he was unaware of a key distinction between the democratic South Korea and the totalitarian North Korea. But hey, whatever could be a political system too, we guess.
Oppan Gangnam Style. Gangnam Style. Oppan Gangnam Style.
Number 13. I've never really wanted to go to Japan, simply because I don't like eating fish and I know that's very popular out there in Africa. Britney Spears. It is impossible not to cringe deep inside at this one. Aside from assuming that all Japanese cuisine has to offer is fish, the Princess of Pop made a crucial geographical mistake, placing Japan in Africa. Honestly, not even close. Another fun fact, you don't need to travel across the sea to get from the US to Canada.
You want a hot body? You want a Bugatti? You want a Maserati? You better work, bitch.
So Britney's dream of traveling, quote, across seas like to Canada and stuff presented more strategic obstacles than she seems to have realized at the time. Number 12. That's why I don't eat friggin' lobster or anything like that, because they're alive when you kill it. Snooki.
Oh no, it's upside down.
He's gonna drown!
Like her fellow Jersey Shore cast members, Nicole Snooki Polizzi has made a career of doing and saying ridiculous things on reality TV.
Ooh, smells like lobsters. Are they alive?
The one that gives us the biggest headache concerns Snooki's reasoning behind not eating lobster.
That's why I don't eat freaking lobster or anything like that. Because they're alive when you kill it. Like, that's disgusting.
Of course, what she probably meant to refer to is the practice of boiling lobsters alive. However, her actual statement ended up being somewhat less profound. Everything is alive before you kill it. That includes the other kinds of animals that Snooki eats without any apparent qualms.
We'll keep it as a pet, and we'll feed it and save it. I'm not sure what lobsters eat, but I think they eat like insects or something.
Number 11. I'm tired of pretending like I'm not bitchin' a total frickin' rock star from Mars. Charlie Sheen.
I'm tired of pretending like I'm not bitching a total frickin' rock star from Mars, and people can't figure me out. They can't process me. I don't expect them to. You can't process me with a normal brain.
You know what? This one actually might not be all that dumb. Would anyone really be surprised if it turned out Charlie Sheen was a rockin' Martian who was sent to Earth to destroy the fabric of human decency?
I don't have to tell you. You know the rule. If you can't confirm it...
Then it doesn't exist. Well, what asshole made up that rule? Can we fire him instead?
It makes perfect sense.
You know, I got tiger blood, man.
What doesn't make any sense are Sheen's accusations that he's underpaid, an innocent victim, and #winning.
I'm by winning.
Maybe he could get a bigger salary back home on Mars.
Because that's how I roll. I have one speed, I have one gear. Go.
Number 10. I think gay marriage should be between a man and a woman. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Come to LA and crush things in my tank.
While running for governor of California back in 2003, Arnold Schwarzenegger was asked about his views on gay marriage.
Can you believe how much I am in heaven? I'm like getting the feeling of coming in the gym. I'm getting the feeling of coming at home. I'm getting the feeling of coming backstage when I pump up.
The bodybuilder turned action hero turned politician turned action hero again seemingly wasn't aware that same-sex marriage requires two people of the same sex, saying that, quote, it should be between a man and a woman. Granted, Arnie was probably just rushed and misspoke.
The point he was making, you have to be ready to fly.
Trust me when I tell you, you're looking for a mistake and you won't find it because it's all good news.
Given how silly and contradictory the statement is, though, it made a memorable quote from the future governor.
Chill out, dickwad.
That's That's great. See, you're getting it.
Number 9. I think that the film Clueless was very deep. I think it was deep in the way that it was very light. I think lightness has to come from a very deep place if it's true lightness. Alicia Silverstone.
I definitely made a big change in my life, maybe when I was 21. And really, it came down to my dog.
Clueless was a funny, lighthearted teen comedy that included a lot of great commentary about youth and high school.
Dee, don't you want to use your popularity for a good cause? No.
Star Alicia Silverstone struggled to find the right words to describe the film, however, leading her to ramble about how lightness and deepness are one and the same.
As F.
At least that's what we think she was trying to get across. This comment was so baffling that Silverstone won the Plain English campaign's Dubious Foot in Mouth Award. Sometimes people really do say it best when they say nothing at all.
Oh, okay, so everything is all my fault. I'm always wrong, right?
Number 8. Smoking kills. If you're killed, you've lost a very important part of your life. Brooke Shields.
A waterfall in the middle of the desert. It's breathtaking.
Brooke Shields is an outspoken anti-smoking activist. And to be fair, her heart is in the right place. After all, this habit can lead to premature aging, cancer, and death. But her choice of words here was extremely unfortunate.
I don't know what's wrong with me when I say the things I say.
If you're killed, you of course don't just lose a part of your life. You lose your whole life. That's sort of the point. Hey, we get what she was trying to say, we think. But it is hard to focus on the message when the wording is so very mixed up.
Brooke Shields felt so strongly about the harmful effects of smoking that she decided to transmit those feelings through this poster.
Number 7. I'ma get me one of them bitches from a third world country. At least you won't have high expectations. Here's a clean glass of water, baby. LOL. 50 Cent.
Go shorty, it's your birthday. We gon' party like it's your birthday.
There are some celebrity comments that leave you wondering what the heck was going through their head. In the case of this tweet from rapper 50 Cent, probably not a lot. If anyone had high expectations for 50 Cent's Twitter account, well, there was certainly an adjustment in order. While joking about how easy to please he imagined women from developing countries to be, 50 Cent managed to set an incredibly low bar for himself, making light of people without access to potable water and objectifying women all at once. Number 6. Whale shark diatribe. Tara Reid.
And I said, like, whale sharks. I'm like, oh, that must mean a whale and a shark have sex.
The American Pie actress once said that she makes Jessica Simpson, quote, look like a rock scientist. Well, it's hard to argue with her after watching this episode of Shark After Dark.
I don't want to really sound stupid when I do this show today.
In an attempt to sound intelligent, Reid, quote, learned a little education on sharks and found out about the whale shark species.
But the whale shark is kind of interesting. He's not so mean. He's like a killer.
And to her surprise, the whale shark is not the product of a whale and shark mating.
So basically, the dolphins have sex with each other, but the sharks don't. So I thought, then how is it such a thing?
It's hard to find the right words to describe this rant as Reid digs herself deeper and deeper. Josh Wolf's expression pretty much says it all, though.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Number 5. Everything he's ever said on Twitter. Jaden Smith.
Another one from Jaden. If everybody in the world dropped out of school, we would have a much more intelligent society. Yeah, they'd be illiterate like you.
Twitter might be a digital town square, but it's also a platform for people to shout out their most poorly thought out remarks. And arguably, no celebrity has offered a more faux philosophical collection of tweets than Jaden Smith.
You're Yoda, and I'm like a Jedi.
Whether he's discussing how school is brainwashing the youth or waxing wise about the intelligence of newborn babies, you can always count on Jaden to write something that he thinks is profound in 280 characters or less. It is possible that he's just joking around with his followers, but it's often been perceived as a little naive and pretentious.
You know, their initials spell BAM!
Number 4. We're more popular than Jesus now. John Lennon. In the 1960s, the Beatles were the biggest stars on the planet. No matter how big your band gets, though, it's pretty provocative to compare yourself to someone who many people believe is the son of God. Nonetheless, Lennon predicted that, quote, Christianity will go. It will vanish and shrink. I needn't argue about that. I'm right and I'll be proved right. We're more popular than Jesus now. I don't know which will go first, rock and roll or Christianity.
John Lennon of the Beatles had been quoted as saying Christianity was on its way out and that the Beatles were more popular than Jesus.
It was a pretty unwise comparison and sparked the famous Beatle boycott, where their records were burned and songs were pulled from radio.
They will be destroyed in a huge public bonfire at a place to be named soon.
While Lennon's assertion will forever remain infamous, at least it's made for some funny satire.
Can't believe you're not still popular. What'd you do? Screw up like the Beatles and say you were bigger than Jesus?
All the time. It was the title of our second album.
Number 3. Is this chicken what I have or is this fish? I know it's tuna, but it says chicken by the sea. Jessica Simpson. Nick Lachey's rolling eyes said it all.
That might be a new record.
In the premiere episode of Newlyweds, Jessica Simpson was unable to tell if she was eating tuna or chicken based on the name of the brand, Chicken of the Sea.
So stupid.
Well, we can understand how this expression might be confusing for someone who hadn't heard it before, but the emphasis is definitely on the sea.
Maybe you and I have eaten tuna like this before.
The treasured moment provides a little bit of a window into a relationship that was not destined to work out.
You know, because a lot of people eat tuna, it's like a lot of people eat chicken, so it's like the chicken of the sea.
Okay, I understand now. I read it wrong.
Number 2. Anne was a great girl. Hopefully she would have been a believer. Justin Bieber.
I could be a Buzz Lightyear, fly across the globe. I don't ever want to fight, yeah, you already know.
For decades, Anne Frank's diary has provided a window into the horrific persecution of Jewish people during the Holocaust in Nazi Germany. For some reason, Bieber felt compelled to insert himself into the narrative, writing this comment into the guest book at the Anne Frank house. Arguably, whether or not Anne Frank would have been a fan of Justin's music is pretty beside the point when it comes to her life and legacy. If Anne Frank were still alive today, we'd all like to think she'd be using her influence to tear down the walls of intolerance, not promoting a pop star.
Time to hit up a strip club. Peace! Believe!
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications. Number 1. Slavery for 400 years? That sounds like a choice. Kanye West. Once upon a time, Kanye's nonsense remarks could be seen as funny, like when he said that not being able to see himself perform was the greatest pain in his life.
I am so disappointed that I cannot see me perform except for on playback.
Or that Chicago's Gucci store was, quote, the closest he's ever felt to home. Sadly, that's evolved into something much more dangerous, such as anti-Semitic diatribes. We're giving this entry to his comment on slavery. In an interview with TMZ, the rapper implied that slavery was a choice made by African Americans.
When you hear about slavery for 400 years, that sounds like a choice.
West argued that he was trying to present a new idea on mental imprisonment, but it just came off as offensive, wrong, and above all else, dumb.
But there is fact and real world, real life consequence behind everything that you just said.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.